who's been interviewing me for some time. And I'm very glad to see you again, Robert. And I'm absolutely delighted that when I first came to Albania, and I love Albania and the Albanian people, that it looked like the socialists just had too many holds and too much of a grip on Albania for Albania to seek democracy. And it looks like the people have spoken, and I believe that the Democratic Coalition will prevail and they will win because the Albanian people want freedom.
I think so. Next time we can go together back in Albania.
If I am ever back there, you're there in Albania, you know, you're going to have to maybe buy me dinner.
Why not?
Is that a deal?
Yeah.
Deal. Well, maybe we'll have Dr. Berisha take us both.
Yeah.
And then Joe Diaguardi and I will come back and we'll have dinner with both you and Dr. Berisha and all of the Democratic Coalition leaders.
Thanks, sir.
My pleasure. Yeah. A lot of heat, and I'm here in my office in Washington, D.C. I've just come back off the House floor with an important amendment that's pending from my district, congressional district in the state of Ohio. But in a participatory democracy, we can all have our say. And I want to commend everybody in Albania for having gone out to vote. Even if you voted for the communists, although I don't recommend you elect them, but I really compliment the people of Albania for having voted. And I am so proud because when I came over there, I was under the impression that the Democratic Coalition had a real uphill battle and struggle. But you see, all you have to do is just look at what communism has brought other countries. The Berlin Wall literally was torn down by its own people. Soviet Union collapsed, literally collapsed. Communism just doesn't work. And when you see Albanians, grandparents, that don't get enough money on a pension to buy coffee and staples of goods and food, how much more pitiful can it be when your air is polluted, raw sewage is being dumped into your water streams? This is stupidity. It's time to throw the communists out. Now, my appeal to you this time is yes, the second round is very important. It will be the ultimate determining factor on what form of government you have. And I recommend to you one of a participatory government where the people do have a say. And remember this, democracy isn't a fantasy, it isn't a utopia, it isn't heaven. It is a process, and it is a long, hard process. And not everything is going to be beautiful immediately, but it takes time. But the people come together, and in a democratic coalition, the people do govern. And I have the confidence, full confidence in Dr. Berisha and the entire Democratic Coalition and the members of the parliament that are at stake that you must now elect. So in this second round, number one, go out and vote. Number two, make sure you're on the list. And remember that I have put the names of those eligible to vote on the list here in Congress to memorialize them for all time so that historians can look back and see if the election had been gerrymandered or had been manipulated. But I am very concerned about the communist manipulation of this second round. And I'm urging you to go out and vote. Now, I'm certainly not one to tell anybody whom to vote for or how to vote. See, in a democracy, you can vote for anyone you want, even a communist. But I am encouraging you to give democracy a chance. Albania can be the bright light, literally the shining star in the Balkans. You could set the example, and all of the Balkans will begin to look at Albania with pride and respect that you have in fact taken that first step. And you know, the greatest journey starts with the first step, and I'm recommending you go out and vote. That second round is very important, and don't let the communists steal this election.
If there's going to be any stealing, any manipulation, what is U.S. Congress going to do about that? Because there are some rumors that they've stolen some votes, not some, but many, and they would like to steal many other votes.
That's one of the reasons why I first of all put the list of eligible voters from two particular Tirana polling stations on the congressional record, so that at some point, if this election is stolen, we can go back and have a thorough investigation to see how that manipulation and how that theft had occurred. So this is sort of a device, sort of like the hammer, to keep the communists fair and to make sure there's a reasonable chance that fairness and objectivity will take place in this election. But I assure you, the United States of America, and I do not speak for our government, but the United States of America wants to keep a lid on the Balkans. But deep down, the United States of America never wants to see socialism and communism as a form of government. And in the long run, you believe me when I tell you, a democratic coalition in Albania will become endeared to the Congress of the United States and the United States government, much more than will a socialist government. You believe that. I don't care what the big shots in America are saying, because they're more concerned about America and America's involvement in controversy. But deep down, a democratic form of government, Albania, will be the bright, shining star in the Balkans, and it will get great help from Uncle Sam, from the United States of America. And I have pledged to you, you throw those communists out, and I will immediately move to try and have funds made available in the future to a first step to help you with your drinking water, to take raw sewage and have a treatment plant that would treat the wastewater so that you wouldn't have raw sewage and filth going into your streams and your rivers. That's the beginning. But you will then begin to see the respective committees of the Congress of the United States looking at this bright shining star in the Balkans and saying, now let's encourage more democracy. And how will we encourage more democracy? We would reward the democratic government. And Dr. Berisha would be received very warmly here, as will the entire Democratic coalition. You believe me when I tell you that. That is a fact. Communism doesn't work. You have a second round coming up in a very important election. Give democracy a chance. The Berlin Wall fell down. Soviet Union collapsed. The American people will see Albania as a bright shining star in the Balkans, the beginning, the foundation of democratic participatory government. And let me tell you this, a democratic Albania will have a very warm friend in Uncle Sam.